and welcome to this special report on the night of August 28th, 2020. Tonight we are looking at the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan, only a little over a year after the legalization of blood doping and the use of performance-enhancing drugs for the Olympic stage. This topic has been a heated debate since their legalization, and we are now seeing the results of this decision. Our first story of the night pertains to the lovely host city of the Summer Olympics. Tokyo representatives of the Japanese Olympic Committee have been quoted saying that they are deeply disappointed that the IOC has allowed this disgrace of a change to fall on their Olympic venue. They also claim that it has ruined and tarnished the traditions that lie within the Olympic stage. The Olympics used to be a place where nations could come together and celebrate, but now more than ever, it is which one can push the boundaries and do anything it takes to win. On a similar note, the IOC has been disgusted with how far athletes are taking their doping. The VP was quoted saying he no longer walks the Olympic Village anymore. He used to be able to do so and see all these great athletes at peak performance, but now he sees nothing but mutant meatheads who are so high on drugs and other substances they can no longer be seen as human. He says he is disappointed in himself and the other chairman for succumbing to the pressure of the athletes and the public who wanted the change, and now he wishes he has never done so. With this, he has announced his resignation from the board along with 3 others. Now we have an exclusive interview in the studio.
Hello, my name is Regina Phalange, and I'm here talking to former men's volleyball Olympic athlete, Maverick Hawkins. So why did you decide to retire after the doping rules weren't stated?
Well, I was raised in a family in honor, and with doping now allowed, it just brings dishonor to the game.
Do you regret your decision?
Not one bit.
Not one bit?
No, because it needs to be legit. Like, someone needs to put in the time and hard work for it. And with doping, people can just be like, I'm going to dope up real quick and play the game.
So as the best volleyball player in the Olympic triad, do you feel like you could compete with the doping?
I could. I mean, it would be a challenge, but I could. Be a new challenge for me. Be willing to take it.
So if the doping rules were to be revoked in a couple of years, would you return to being an Olympic athlete, or?
Most definitely. I love the game too much to just quit forever. I mean, just yesterday, I went in practice for it, so.
Would that bring back the honor?
It would most definitely bring back all the honor.
Okay, thank you.
Right now I am outside the Olympic Stadium where we have just received an update on the health of the winner from the men's 400 meter from last week. For those who do not remember, Chris Hancock made a comeback from being behind by 10 meters going into the last 100 to winning the race and smashing the world record by over 5 seconds. Sadly, immediately after crossing the finish line, Mr. Hancock collapsed to his knees, only to have his heart burst from his chest, leaving only a crater behind. After being in intensive care for almost a week, his family decided to spare him and pull the plug, leaving Mr. Hancock with a deceased time of 8:50 a.m. this morning. The autopsy revealed extremely high amounts of hemoglobin, testosterone, growth hormones, and beaver tranquilizers. This news has quickly spread across the Olympic Village, and it is easy to say that the athletes are becoming uneasy. On another note, professional sports everywhere have been inspired by the Olympics to be the next in line to legalize doping for professional use. With this, old athletes who were once stripped of all of their titles and banned from their sports are being reinstated of their Olympic medals. Some Hall of Fames have even decided to recognize athletes such as Lance Armstrong and Barry Bonds now that their charges no longer stand. This now raises the question of, do we as a society really want our children to be looking up to people who had to once lie and cheat to get where they are? It is predicted that after these Olympic Games, high school and collegiate athletes alike will be wanting to try doping, even though the USADA and other groups have put their foot down on the topic. Due to all of the issues that the IOC has ran into with the legalization of blood doping and performance-enhancing drugs, they've began to look into setting limits on how far athletes can take their doping. Many speculate that this will only transpire to the very similar events that took place before the legalization. All the athletes will begin to push the boundaries and do whatever it takes to beat their competition. Now people are beginning to realize that the only way to put a stop to this doping, once and for all, is stamp down both feet and go back to the good old zero tolerance policy they had before. This now concludes our broadcast. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.